Okay, let's understand circles on the coordinate plane. Writing the standard equation of a circle. Because we are talking about the coordinate plane, we need to have x and y. That means the center. In this case, we are representing it as with h and k. And we need radius as r. This is the standard equation of a circle. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared, and which is equal to radius squared. There is one interesting thing in this. Here the center is represented as positive numbers, right? H and K. But when you write it in the equation, it will change the sign. It contains the opposite of the coordinate of the circle. It was positive, we will write it as negative. It was positive, we will write it as negative. Let's take up an example. If I ask you, if the center is -1 and 3 and radius is 2, how will I write in the standard form? Because it is always the opposite. It contains the opposite of the coordinates of the center. Okay, so x minus, what is h? -1 squared. Minus sign will be there, and then plug whatever h or k is given to you. This is h and this is k, plus y minus k is 3. You can just write 3 squared is equal to radius squared. What is r? 2. 2 squared. If you simplify it, minus and minus will become positive. So x plus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 4. That will be the equation of the circle having the center -1 and 3 and the radius as 2. Now another thing, circle centered at origin. Because it is at origin, how the coordinate plane, this is the coordinate plane, this is your origin, right? At the origin, this is nothing but 0 and 0. These are the coordinates, 0 and 0. So if the circle is centered at the origin, there is no h and there is no k, because h and k is nothing but 0 and 0. And if you plug 0 and 0, what will happen? If I plug it here, x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared is equal to r squared. X minus 0 is what? X squared. Y minus 0? Y squared, which is nothing but r squared. So that is why you will have x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. But only when you have both h and k as 0 and 0. Let's understand it in the form of the coordinate graph. This is a circle on the coordinate plane. It has its center of origin at 0 and 0. Because 0 and 0, you will get this graph. This is x, this is y, and this is r. This is a graph which is not centered, the circle is not centered at 0, 0. So the coordinate, that means the center is at h and k, r is the radius, one leg, another leg, x-axis and the y-axis. Let's try to write equation, standard equation. Okay. In this case, they are asking us to write the standard equation of a circle. Points are given to you. The points are 4 and 1 and centered at 1 and 4. Because it is centered at 1 and 4, that means h is 1, k is 4, but I don't know anything about radius. So what we have to do, we have to find out the radius first. To find out the radius, find r, we have to find the distance between center and the given point. What is the given point in this case? Given point is 4 and 1. So if you have to find the distance between the center and the given point, we need to use the distance formula. Let's find it out. I can say r is equal to, we have these 2 points, right? Inside the radical, x2 minus x1, 4 minus 1 squared, plus y2 minus y1, or x1 minus x2. You can read whatever way you want. 1 minus 4 squared. To simplify it, 4 minus 1 is 3 squared, and 1 minus 4 is negative 3 squared. Right? If I simplify it further, 3 squared is 9, and negative 3 squared will also give us 9. So radius is nothing but radical 18. Do I have to simplify it right now? No. So now we have the coordinates and radius is radical 18. Let's plug everything back in the standard equation. What is the standard equation? It is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. That is your standard equation, right? Let's plug everything back, all the information back to write the equation of this particular question. Okay, x minus, what is h? 1 minus 1 squared plus y minus 4. 4 squared. What is r? R is radical 18. Radical 18 squared. Can I leave my question here? No. I need to simplify it. The final answer will be x minus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared, and radical 18 squared is nothing but 18. This is your final answer. And I like to box my answers. Okay, let's try something else. Okay, in this case, they haven't provided us center, they haven't provided us radius. We need to find the center and the radius of the circle. To find the center and the radius of the circle, let's go back to Algebra 1 for a while and understand few important things that you have learned in algebra. Okay, let's say if you have to factor something like this, x squared minus 2x is equal to 0. How can I factor it? I can factor by completing the squares. How to complete the squares? Complete the squares says take half of b, this is a, this is b, half of b square it and add both the sides. So in this case, what is b? b is negative 2. Negative 2 divided by 2 squared, which will give you nothing but 1. And then add these two, number 1, that to both the sides, left hand side and the right hand side both. X squared minus 2x plus 1 and 1. And then you can find the answer. Another thing that you learned, just to simplify it, I can factor it, but there is another property which says a plus b whole squared is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, if there is a minus, what will happen then? A minus b whole squared is a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Can I apply this here? Let's try. This is a squared minus 2 times x times 1, because this is a and this is b, plus 1 squared, right? So a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. A squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So I can write this in the factor form that this is nothing but x minus 1 squared is equal to 1. This is all about completing the squares and some of the identities that you have learned in Algebra 1. Let's try to use these to find radius and center. Okay. In this case, a big equation is given to you. X squared plus y squared minus 2x plus 6y minus 6 is equal to 0. Okay, let me rewrite it again. X squared plus y squared minus 2x plus 6y minus 6 is equal to 0. Let's simplify it. Let's try. Let's combine all the x terms and all the y terms. These are x terms and these two are y terms. So I can rewrite it as x squared minus 2x plus y squared plus 6y minus 6 is equal to 0. Now I have these two terms, right? Let's take 6 on that side. Plus 6 plus 6. X squared minus 2x plus 6y, one mistake, it should be y squared plus 6y is equal to 6. I need to factor it somehow. Can I use completing the squares? Yes, I can. Let's try one by one. Let's try for x squared minus 2x. Let's plug it equal to 0 first. Okay. Half of b squared. What is b? Negative 2. Negative 2 over 2 squared will give you 1. Now add 1 to both the sides of the equation. X squared minus 2x minus 1 plus 1 is equal to 1. Now this is nothing but these two identities. A minus b whole squared. A squared minus 2ab plus b squared, because 1 squared is nothing but 1. So I can rewrite the whole thing as x minus 1 squared is equal to 1. Here's the thing. I'm using this method to factor it. If you want to factor it your way, you can. So I can write x squared minus 2x is as x minus 1 squared is equal to 1. Let's try to factor y squared plus 6y. Let's plug it equal to 0 again. Same drill. Half of b is 6. Half of b squared. So b is 6. 6 over 2 and squared. 6 over 2 is nothing but 3. 3 squared is 9. Okay, y squared plus 6y and add 9 both sides. Okay, again, can I use these two identities? Let's try. A squared, okay, 6y, I can rewrite it as 2 times 3 times y plus 9 is equal to 9. Now, this is in the same form of a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. A squared plus 2ab plus b squared. I can factor it as y plus 3 squared is equal to 9. Again, you can use whatever method to factor and whatever makes sense to you. Okay, let's write these two in this equation. Let's see what we have. Okay, x squared minus 2x, I can write it as x minus 1 squared. X minus 1 squared, and we already have 6, but I need 1 here. So plus 1 from this equation. Now, we have a plus sign. Okay, plus sign. Y squared plus 6y is factored as this one. So y plus 3 whole squared. Y plus 3 whole squared. But we also have 9 here. So I will add 9 here. Let's simplify it. X minus 1 squared plus y plus 3 squared. If you add everything, 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 plus 6 is 16. I can rewrite this equation like this. 16 is nothing but 4 squared. So is this in the form of the standard form of the equation of a circle? Yes. So what is the center point? Center point is always the opposite because it is minus 1. That means h will be 1. It is plus 3. That means it will be negative 3. And this is r. So radius is nothing but r. And we are done with this problem.